up, Total Metal Promotions? I'm Kyle here, your admin, sitting here with Eric and
Josh.
Awesome. So anyways, what band are you guys from?
We are from Regina's Black and Doom Nachtterror.
Awesome. And with your genre of being doom and everything, what are your major influences?
Major influences? I mean, if we're gonna go off of just specific bands, I mean, like we in the early days drew a lot from Cradle and Dimmu and stuff like that. That was really big at the time. My Dying Bride's a big influence. You can obviously hear in our stuff. A lot of us are really into classical and just really into build. It would be a real oversight not to mention that we're all Silent Hill fanatics. Akira Yamaoka, who is the music director for all those games, is hugely inspirational in what we create musically and conceptually. So, yeah, that's kind of it. Horror gaming and doom metal.
Awesome. Now, with the horror gaming and everything, and that guy being a total, like, with the music and everything, what aspects of that do you bring to your music?
Well, I guess the best way to explain that would be the Silent Hill franchise is very deeply rooted in psychological trauma and the manifestation of that. That's kind of its core concept, right? So, musically, what Akira Yamaoka brings to the games is depth. It's not about creating the scariest sound. It's about creating a range. It's about making you feel the emotions of whatever's going on. You can't have tragedy without the proper build, right? It's very Shakespearean in that structure where you have to have comedy, you have to have lightheartedness for that tragedy and that horror to be that much more significant. So, what we kind of draw from is just the idea that you're not simply trying to create something for the sake of creating it. You're not trying to create something heavy so it's heavy. You're not trying to create something with a cool harmony so it's a cool harmony. You're trying to express a feeling. Yeah. And that's kind of what we draw from that.
Alright, now, since you guys have been around for a while, how have you guys actually became a band?
Okay, origin story. Well, the band originally started by Anthony and Escott, and Eric Escott, the singer and guitarist. At the time, myself and Josh were in another project, and they had played, I think, their second show in town, and I had met them, realized we had some mutual interests. They had some spots to fill. A couple of members quit. We joined in, and that was in 2006.
Yeah, it was 06, 07 in that area.
Yeah, no, I played my first show November 06, so it must have been June 06 maybe. Anyway, and basically we realized that we had a lot of the similar interests, and we've been the same lineup roughly since then. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Now with that, you guys said you became a part in 06. How long would you guys consider yourself actually
active?
Yes.
Well, 2015, first show was about 8 years for sure. I mean, we've had a couple breaks here and there. Two of the boys have moved to Ontario, so that kind of breaks up our timelines a little bit. But actively writing and working on music for about 8 years.
All right. Now, how has your music evolved over the years?
That's a fun question. Okay, so when Nachtterror started, we were very influenced by Cradle and Dimmu and Regina's death metal scene.
Yeah.
Regina back in 04, 05 was a very death metal and thrash metal oriented area, and we wanted to be like every other 16-year-old kid playing a band, the fastest, the heaviest, the coolest screams, the coolest leads, whatever. So we kind of just, our starting point was really trying to be a black metal band in a place that didn't really have that much influence. And as we kind of grew, we kind of started stepping away from being really genre held in that way. We kind of decided. It was early 07 we started working on an album called Judgment, which is a concept album. Judgment basically is a love letter to Akira Yamaoka and Silent Hill. It's kind of this idea of creating a 60-minute story. It's almost more of a musical than it is than 10 songs on an album. Okay. We wanted to create a concept album based around a character and a story where the music the story wasn't represented by the tracks. The emotional state of our protagonist created the flow of the music.
Okay.
So you wouldn't have a song that was, this is the angry song. It would be, this is the part of the story where he's angry, and that song could flow into the next part where he's sad or he's frustrated, whatever it would be. The idea was we wanted to create something that kind of told a story of an emotional state and the psychological state, as opposed to just creating tracks. So, to answer the question, I guess it would be the change has basically been we've gone from being a metal band to trying to be something a little more experimental and a little more sonically evolved.
This is a fact of